Hello my friends, and today I want to make a really quick video about why I decided to keep my KO2 sampler, this Teenage Engineering sampler that I really like, but it has some limitations. It has only 64 megabytes of storage, and you cannot produce the whole song inside of the sampler because obviously you cannot record anything longer than 20 seconds, and even if you can, where do you store it? In 64 megabytes, right? It's a little bit hard to use this more than some complicated drum machine, but I decided to keep this sampler because it has a couple of features that I really like using with my setup. So I have a couple of Roland boutiques here that I really particularly like. It's SH01A and G06A. So you can see them here. I really like these two boutique series, and I have a couple of synths. I have a TD3MO, recently I bought it. Behringer, I really like the sound, the acid sound. And what I like about this KO2 that I can actually use it as a sequencer for 16 MIDI channels, 16 MIDI devices, but I don't need to use 16 simultaneously. I just need to, like, 3-4 will be enough for me, right? And I can use this sampler actually with the keyboard, with every MIDI keyboard that you can find. It's just one issue. You need to use the cables from Teenage Engineering, because if you're gonna use standard MIDI jacks cables, they're not gonna fit together. So you need to spend another $40 if you want a MIDI in and out simultaneously to function. And if you have this, what I did, I bought these two MIDI cables, and so basically I have MIDI in and out from this device, from KO2 sampler, and with a little trick I can start to control my devices. But the second part of why I decided to keep the sampler KO2, I will explain the first part a little bit later, but just explaining the second part, is that you can use this KO sampler as a stereo pedal processor, effect processor, stereo pedal. So this actually by itself some kind of a good deal, because these pedals cost usually $500–600. Stereo pedals, like good stereo pedals, cost around $500. Well, maybe the sampler, this KO2, not such good as some top of the line like Microcosm, right? It's maybe not so good as the pedal, but it's a sampler, and I will show you how to use these two main features, that two main tricks. That's why I decided to keep this sampler. It cost $300, and basically it's in the one hand it's a lot, but in the other hand, if you compare with the other samplers with other different drum machines, for example, I have Roland TRS6, right? So I'll show you. There I have, and I don't want to like shitting on Roland, right? I like the Roland, I deeply respect, but I don't think this drum machine can do anything more than KO2 can do, and this drum machine costs $450, like $150 more than just a sampler. And on top of that, you have a pedal process effect that's nicely lay on your desktop, because usually with those pedals it's actually a usability problem, because it's not a really good looking on a table, most of these pedals. So let's start from the first part, why I decided to keep KO2 sampler. The first part is I can control, for example, I have 3 synths right now, and I want to show you the third one here on the desktop. It's TD3MO and these 2 roll-on boutiques. And you can control more, you can control up to 16 in the same time. But let's just focus on these 3. So what I need to do, I need to assign MIDI channels to specific pads. How can I do this? Just first show you real quick how to do this. So I choose the MIDI channels on the devices, right, on the synthesizers, the first. And then I go to specific bank and then press specific, for example, the first, and just turn off the volume, because so you didn't hear any sound. So then I go to the first, for example, right? And I just press shift and sound and plus and minus. Oh, sorry, I think I did something. So yeah, I just didn't press the shift. So in this plus and minuses, I can change the parameter that I wanted to change. So I need to just find MIDI, for example, yeah, MIDI. And for this pad is light on, is 6 pad, but how can I change it to, maybe this keys will press, right? Yeah, the keys, K's button was pressed, so the 6 pad was like pre-selected. So I just unpress the key button, and I have my first MIDI channel, second MIDI channel, third. Just I decided to use the D bank, also like my sequencer for my external gear. So I just assign up to MIDI channel 9, all these pads, and watch what's happened. So my Juno Boutique Roland, so I just can show it to you real quick. It's assigned to first MIDI channel. Looks what's happened looks what's going to happen when I start playing my Roland Boutique on the first MIDI channel. So I forget, I changed it. It's not a first MIDI channel, it's on a 6th channel. Yeah, so here it is. And I just press the key button and I can play it. So right now I'll play this synth. I play on my EP-KO2. I can play it here, and I can play it here. And also, I can use MIDI keyboard. In order to do this, I need just to assign the MIDI channel 6 on particular channel, and I already play this Juno on my keyboard, and I can record what I'm playing in the real time with the metronome from this sampler, I can record the MIDI data, a MIDI sequence, direct into this KO2. This is really interesting thing about this. So it can be used as advanced MIDI sequencer. And also you could use the swing, all the features that this sampler has, you can use when you record the synthesis. Let's maybe just do it for the sake of, you know, authenticity. So let's just turn it off. So right now nothing is playing, right? And I want to just, okay, I press record and I'm going to play something on a keyboard. So it's been recorded to the sampler and it's playing. And right now I can adjust. And also the sound coming directly through the input of my KO2 sampler. So I chaining those three devices. So I use TD3MO. I use it exit to input of SH01 and then like routed the audio signal to Juno boutique series, and after that into the KO2 sampler. So they all three right now just use the one input, and it's pretty convenient. You have three synths, you have input on this, and you can use it as a pedal. So let's try the other ones. So I need to remember, SH on the second channel. So we need to just unpress the key. This is a second channel and I press the key again and I can play it. Oh, I need to switch the MIDI track here. Yeah. And I can play it here, and I can sync those two. Right now, I think I'm not synced. They are not synchronized right now, but I can sync them, and I can use Arturia K-Step Pro sequencer and I can then record this sequence in the KO2 sequencer. So possibilities like endless. So we already record the first layer, right? It's auto pattern star. So this is the first sequence that we record. And for example, I want to add something. So, of course, the music is bullshit, right? But you get the idea that I can sequence two synthesizers and pretty easily using MIDI keyboard and this KO2 sampler and create really interesting melodies, right? Pretty easy without using any DAW, So it just extends capabilities of K-Step Pro. It just extends the sequencer capabilities, and on top of that you can control more than, so Arturia K-Step Pro can control on the 4 MIDI channels. So this you can easily control up to 16 MIDI channels, but I really doubt that this is necessarily you wanted to do, but well, we can do this. And this is a first part, why I decided to keep this sampler, and it's not only, but it's the main. So the first part you can really really nicely and really easily control, and using the input record a couple of synths, 3, 4, whatever you want. So and that's we come to the second part, is the processing. So let me show you this way. So for example, I have a chord right now here on my Juno, and I want to press something. This is a stereo. By the way, you can use stereo output from this sampler into your audio interface, and the sound is going to be real stereo. So you can, this Juno, it's actually stereo synthesizer, and it sounds real, it sounds stereo, and you can record stereo synths using this input with your KO2. I just want to make sure that I was in mono this whole time. So right now, you probably notice the difference. Right now we're in stereo. But while we're in stereo, the mono synth's gonna sound on the left or right channel. So they're not gonna sound like in the middle. But the stereo synth's gonna sound stereo. So if you use mono synths through processing, so you just need to like be in mono. So if you use a digital mixer, just make sure that left and right it's straight at center. But if you have dedicated knob, as I have in my Behringer Euphoria, so that's just to press the knob, stereo or mono inputs. Okay, so right now I want to show you how to process external signal. So I just in the main menu with this KO2, and this orange knob, I just okay, will move a little bit, and in order to see this more closely. So this orange knob, it's, if you start to tweak it, so this orange knob is responsible for gain, input gain for your external audio. So you can like crank it as long as you want, but until it gets too distorted. So, and the second knob in this menu, this black knob, is how much of the effect will be applied to your sound. For example, I want to use delay with this sound, and I'm just starting to you notice? And also I can choose when I press the effects button here, I can choose the amount and also I can switch between the effects. Unfortunately, you cannot layer the effects. You cannot use delay with reverb, with distortion, and I can show you all the effects right now, but you cannot use them together. You can use only one at a time. This is a disadvantage, but maybe the Teenage Engineering will fix this in an update. So recently was the huge update 2.0, and they actually fix a lot of problems with this sampler and insert a lot of new features. So this is a delay. So this is a reverb. And on a reverb, maybe we are gonna try our monosynth, but this monosynth connected with the stereo cable, so sound gonna be like stereo, but it's not a true stereo. And we are so this is the SH01A, SH01A. And this is a reverb. And okay, let's press the distortion. And I really like this. Oh, I really like this distortion effect on the Juno, the Roland Boutique Juno, and other like polyphonic chord mode sound. You can I can show you what I mean by that. You see, it's really interesting texture coming out. So right now, without any effects, I just turn off the black knob and I turn the distortion. And you can change the wet and dry signal. So right now it's fully dry and so right now it's fully wet. So and by the way, you can process if you play your synths together. You can process hold them together with this distortion. Let's try it on. So I'm sorry, this strange sound, I know this. So, it's not going the way that I want it to, but because it's sequencer started playing, but you get the idea, right? Let's, maybe we change the preset. Yeah. Right now it sounds better. And right now so right now it's a chorus effect. Let's try the next one. The next one is gonna be the filter. too much of the signal. The next one was compressor, but the sound level was too high from this. So I need to adjust it, but I cannot squeeze my arm right now actually, because I only set up my monitor and it's too tight here. I cannot do this right now. So you got the idea, right? That you can use this KO2 as a effect processor, and actually I want to show you really interesting feature. So okay, we just switch into the next I'll show you. Switch to the next pattern, empty pattern, and let's press play, and I need to stop, and I need to press yeah, I just turn on the mono mode on my out interface. So right now, playing this. So right now it's TD3 MO playing with run through my SH, run through then Juno, and then come to the input of the KO2 sampler. And then I can add the effects . And as you can see, the effects on this sampler is pretty decent by the quality. Maybe it's not a lot of them, maybe it's really not too easy to adjust every parameter as on separate particular pedal. Like you have all the knobs on the top, you can just crank it really easily. Maybe it's easier to use the pedal, but it's just a sampler, right? It's not a most expensive one, and it has a lot of tons of feature. And by the way, I have the great idea for Teenage Engineering to actually bump up this sampler on a whole different level. It actually can. So Teenage Engineering, what you can do, you already have beautifully designed. Let me take off these headphones. So Teenage Engineering, and I need to turn off my AC because it's too loud, too noisy. So Teenage Engineering has already have the beautifully designed page when you can adjust, change your samples, add new samples. So do all the manipulation with the content inside of your KO2 sampler. And it's pretty convenient actually, by the way. You can upload, download samples, whatever you want. So my idea is to extend the capabilities. So create a page when all the sequence that you made can be showed in a simple piano roll, like like Behringer did, like Fruity Loops did. like simple piano roll, all your sequences, and give you a capability to save them as a MIDI or as different files, maybe sequence files or pattern files. The MIDI is gonna be great actually. So you can not only copy and download and upload some MIDI files to your sampler sequencer, but also can organize your scenes, your projects on this page, because it's actually really tricky to create a whole song on this KO2, because you need to like diving after diving, menu after menu, you need to like crazy combinations of the buttons. So if they create the online sequencer, when you can adjust your pattern, maybe adjust the notes, save it, import, export, convert it, save it to MIDI, import MIDI data, and also organize this pattern into some kind of songs. It also have this unit already have a song mode, when you can chain your sequences, scenes, into the scenes and up to into the songs. So if all this MIDI infrastructure could be accessible to web browser, something like they do with the sampler, this is gonna be amazing feature. And I don't know, does any devices have such capabilities, because have such features, because the Behringer have usually the Behringer have on the TD3 MO, they have, if you connect it with the USB, you can access to your patterns, your sequence, up to 16 notes, but nevertheless, so you can upload, you can create the sequence inside of this application, inside of your. So why don't you KO2 sampler, if they manage to do this feature, I think it's gonna be outstanding. I think it's gonna be really solve all the problems, all the usability problems with the instrument. So nevertheless, I'm going to keep the KO2 sampler and hope that Teenage Engineering will add this my dream feature. If they're gonna add, there's gonna be a lot more easier to create complete songs with this little sampler, and even limitations with 64 megabytes not gonna be the problem, because you're just gonna be controlling external synths and use the MIDI data and use this as a pedal and use predominantly as a just really fancy drum machine. So what do you think about that? Let me know in the comments down below, and I see you in the next video.